Good day. Hi, this is Cherian Kuruvila, a business mentor and a coach. And what I wanted to quickly share in this video is about how a lot of corporate executives and senior roles have actually migrated to become solo entrepreneurs themselves. And I've been interacting so much with them in the last 10 years as an entrepreneur, and I'm seeing the kind of power that they bring. Each one of them being an expert in their respective field, and when it comes to the power of collective, it's tremendous, right? Particularly for entrepreneurs. And this video is by an entrepreneur for entrepreneurs, right? And I thought I'd just share a little bit of my journey and how I believe that entrepreneurs would be so much better off if they did not fight their battle alone, right? And when I first started off 10 years ago, SMEs or solo entrepreneurs or startup entrepreneurs would typically ask me, so have you worked in manufacturing? Have you worked in IT? Have you worked in healthcare? Have you worked in education? Have you worked in FMCG? And my stock answer would be no. I've worked in consumer durables, I've worked in office automation, I've worked in telecom, I've worked in HR. But I said, how does that matter? End of the day, a business is a business, right? You could be running any business. Irrespective of the sector, end of the day, as an entrepreneur, you have a product or a service, you have a target customer or consumer, and you need to give them the right product or right service at the right price, the right time, in the right place, right? So how does it matter what sector it is? So I think 10 years ago, when business mentoring was still a fairly new concept, very nascent, a lot of entrepreneurs did not understand the power of a mentor, what a mentor could actually do, right? A mentor is not a consultant. A consultant could be a subject matter expert in a particular area, could be manufacturing, could be HR, could be IT, right? Yes, entrepreneurs do require that as well. But the mentor is somebody who is able to look at it, the picture more holistically, look at the business more holistically, right? So for instance, when I used to start off working with entrepreneurs across different stages, startup, early stage, growth phase, stuck-up phase, knockout phase, whatever phase you call it. Different organizations had obviously gone through different cycles over 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, whatever it is. And each client was unique. Each client had its own challenges. And it was important for me as a mentor to dive in, to deep dive into that organization, understand what really are the challenges, what really is working well in that organization, what's not working well in that organization. So typically we would start off with a business health scan, which would give them and me a fairly good idea of these are the 3 areas which are working well, these are the 3 areas which are not working so well, right? So very often when entrepreneurs would tell me, we are struggling with sales, our business is not growing, or we are having problem getting the right talent, right? Because of which we are struggling in the market. Our competition is doing so much better, but we seem to be stuck at some level, right? So when one starts actually getting down into the root cause of the issue, right, in terms of if sales is not happening, it's because the market is not getting covered properly. Why the market is not getting covered properly? It's often because you don't have the right people or the right training or the right job descriptions and the right policies, right? So quite often, you would find that business planning was just an Excel sheet. It's just an Excel sheet with a lot of figures which looked very interesting. Some more progressive organizations had better looking PowerPoint presentations. But end of it, it lacked depth. A business plan is not just about I want to grow from 20 crores to 30 crores. I want to grow from 50 crores to 75 crores. That's not a business plan. That's a goal, right? It's a business goal. A business plan to me was getting into a lot more specific details about, what is your product strategy? What is your market coverage strategy? What is your channel strategy? What is your organization and people strategy? What is your financing strategy, right? Where is the funding going to come from? Are you driving top line or bottom line, revenue or profit or both, right? So when you start getting into this level of detail, you find that most entrepreneurs have sort of not really gone down to that level of detail, or they're not so structured, or maybe the entrepreneur or the CEO, the MD of the business is very progressive, very positive, very far looking. But when it comes to the next level leadership and the next level below that, the mid-level managers or the frontline executives, you invariably find that you know there's no alignment to the vision, right? What the owner is looking for and what the team is working on are two different things altogether. There's no alignment at all, right? And more often than not, we find that the bottleneck are the leaders themselves. If not the top level leaders, maybe definitely the senior leadership team, if there is one, and the next level leaders or managers, what do you call it, right? And you know what? One thing that is missing most in most of the entrepreneurs I see is HR. HR just does not seem to be given the importance that it deserves, right? So even though I'm a business guy, I'm a business mentor, I'm a coach, invariably I find that a lot of my time goes into people-related issues. The top three problems of most entrepreneurs are people, 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 right? Because they are the ones who drive the business, they are the ones who manage the teams, they are the ones who make the policies, they are the ones who implement the policies, they are the ones who create the culture of the organization, right? And if these things are not in place, you can forget about achieving your sales targets and business targets, right? So that's where the mismatch often happens between what the owner wants and what actually happens, right? So I've also realized along my journey of 10 years that one person cannot give it all, right? A business mentor or a coach would need to work collectively, right? Because quite often when you're growing a business, you need people, you need to have the right kind of talent, you need to have the right kind of policies, you need to have the right kind of marketing support, you need to have the right kind of, what do you call it, HR, structure, culture in the organization. And with the absence of proper leaders in the organization, these things often get compromised, right? Which is where we're talking about the power of a collective. I've realized that, I've not been able to make an impact to any one client on my own. I've always collaborated with somebody. It could be somebody for recruitment, it could be somebody for training, it could be somebody for coaching, it could be somebody for putting the HR policies in place. And we realize that, look, or the statutory compliance is in place. Each one of them is an expertise by itself, right? And if any of those areas get missed out, eventually what happens? The business enterprise itself suffers, right? And this is where we form this power of collective, what we call it. We have a group of professionals, each one of them an expert in a specific area, and we come under the umbrella of HR Pros, which has been around for a couple of years now, and we've been sort of taking it closer and closer to what the market needs. And I realized that, look, this is a powerful collective of experts who can change the way an organization works, right? Because depending on what the organization requires, the right expert would come in, and the right group of experts or combination of experts would come in who could really make a difference to that organization, right? So my advice to entrepreneurs is, don't ever try to fight your battle alone. If you've been doing that all this while, great. I mean, you've come to this particular level. But given the current, uncertain environment, what we call VUCA environment that is prevailing post the COVID and recovery gradually happening, this really is the time when you need the right experts. And rather than trying to search for them in the marketplace and find somebody based on somebody's recommendation, you lose months and months just trying to find the right person, right? Whereas what we bring to you is something which is almost like a ready-made menu. We understand your challenges, understand where the problems are, understand what you're looking for, pitch in one expert, two experts, three experts, whatever is required, so that you as an organization benefit from this collective, right? So this powerful collective, which we call HR Pros, is something which I would strongly urge entrepreneurs to examine, evaluate, and then look at them as long-term partners in your progress, and not as just consultants or vendors who can come and fix a particular thing. Because in your transformation journey, business transformation journey and leadership transformation journey, you need experts to handhold you, right? If you like this video, I know it's a long one, If you like this video and want to know more, do reach out to us, and we'll be very happy to come across, talk to you, speak with you, and try and see how we can enable and empower you also to achieve your vision and your dreams, like we've been doing for the last so many years across multiple segments, multiple stages of organizations. So thank you very much, and happy to be there to help out if ever you need the help. Thank you.